All right, we are back with another episode of It's That Easy. And guess what? We're talking college basketball again. Okay, if you're watching, please like and subscribe. It just helps the channel. I truly appreciate it because just have a good time talking about sports, talking about betting. Yeah, it's a good time. But yeah, let's jump into it, man. If you watch basketball this weekend, if you're a college basketball fan, oh my gosh, this was an unbelievable weekend. Now, if you bet the way I did, probably not that unbelievable, but you know what? That's okay. So let's start real quick. We're going to run through these, and then I got 5 games that we're going to look at. So let me ask you this. What if I told you there was one bet you could make that you would 24 times that amount? So if you bet $100, $2,400 payout. All right, if you want to know more about it, stay tuned. All right, let's get into this. So this weekend we had some really good games starting Friday. UConn played St. John's. UConn was higher ranked, but here's the thing. Here's something I learned, and you'll see this later, hopefully. Home cooking. Home cooking is not a fake thing. Home cooking is real. And St. John's took it to UConn this weekend. I picked UConn to cover. Super bad bet. But you know what? St. John's, I mean, they beat them by 9. So it wasn't even close. It was actually, it wasn't close. By the time, a couple minutes left, you knew it was going to be St. John's winning the game. Duke learned about home cooking. They went to North Carolina. So I put Duke money line, right? But as I watched this game, it went up to 6.5 points right before tip-off. I wish I would have taken the screenshot because I said, you know what? I'm going North Carolina. 6.5 points at home. They can lose by 6 and we still win. Well, guess what? They took them down to the very end. If you were betting Duke was up by 12 points, probably, 4 or 5 minutes left in the game, and you thought, okay, they're going to win. I was like, I'm not even going to get close to 6 points. Well, North Carolina cut it down, and I thought, okay, this could get good. I walked away from it. I looked at it like minutes later. It was a tie game with under like 10 seconds to go. North Carolina pulls off the upset, and if you bet North Carolina to cover, guess what? You won. So that was not a good pick, but I changed my mind because I slept on it, right? I was like 3 days in advance. Here was one. But before I did, in the morning, I actually parlayed. I said, you know what? I like Illinois. I like Tennessee. I like them both to cover. Actually, I like them to win. I chose them to win. I did a parlay, and I think it was going to pay about 4 times. I said, okay, that's not bad. But here's the thing. See, that's gambling. So what I did with Duke, North Carolina minus 6.5, that was a little strategic, right? I'm thinking North Carolina at home, probably going to play Duke. They always play Duke tough. This was just straight up gambling. I said, okay, these 2 underdogs on the road, I'm going to pick them to win. And it would have actually paid pretty well. And if you look at the games, they both lost by 3 points. And they were both winning deep into the second half. So, but that's gambling for you right there. So gave it a shot, didn't work. Now, I did pick U of H to cover. They ended up winning by 11. So that was pretty good. Won that one. That was a single one there. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I picked, remember I told you the Longhorns 9.5 point favorites. I was like, that's a lot. Maybe go money line. Well, I went the 9.5 points, and with about a minute and a half left, they were up by 1. And I said, there's no way. Yeah, defense, stop, points, blah, blah, blah. By the time you know it, they had won by 11 points and they covered. I was like, whew, I just want them to win, actually. So it's kind of hard to bet on the team you like. But you know what? It was a good one. Okay, A&M. I totally missed that one. I said 4.5 points at A&M. They should win. Yeah, pretty sure they were down by like 25 points at one time. They lost by, I guess that's 19. So, yeah, it was not even close from the beginning. I'm pretty sure it was 13-2 right out of the gate. So, bad bet. Wisconsin, though, on the road at Indiana, I thought Wisconsin had a good chance to win the game. If you look, they only lost by 1 point, but they had to cover 4.5. That was a good win. So another win there. And then Alabama, Auburn. I thought home cooking would work for Auburn, and they were actually winning into the second half, midway through the second half. But Alabama's just tough, man. And what's fun? I don't know if it's Alabama. Never mind. I better not say the story. Anyway, close game, but Alabama took care of business. So All right, so let's look at these games. Let's see, they're coming up today. One today, four tomorrow. So tonight we have number one Arizona on the road at Kansas. Yeah, that's a crazy one. You think, okay, did he learn his lesson about home cooking, or is he going with the favorite team? So Arizona's undefeated. They said the best start in their history. I'm pretty sure. Kansas is no slouch though. 18-5, 8-2 in the Big Ten. So they're doing. I mean, sorry, the Big Ten in the Big 12, and so their home record, pretty good. I saw them win the last couple of games. They're doing pretty well. So because of that, and because of this weekend, I might have learned my lesson. I'm going home cooking. I'm going Kansas to cover the 2.5 points against Arizona. You heard it right here, folks. So then tomorrow night, you got Purdue going to Nebraska. Purdue is number 13. They're 19-4, 9-3 in the Big Ten. Nebraska's 21-2, 10-2 in the Big Ten. I'm telling you, Nebraska's had a rough couple of weeks. Games they could have won and should have won, and they did not win. But they fixed this. They righted the ship there, and so I'm gonna pick them to cover at home against a tough Purdue team. This is gonna be close. Like it could be a 1-point game, but I'm gonna say Nebraska pulls it out in the end. Take care of business there. So, but here's a shocker for you. So, number 11, North Carolina, coming off their upset of Duke, last second shot, beautiful play, beautiful shot. It was a great game. Traveling to Miami. Here's the thing. So, North Carolina is number 11. Miami is not ranked, but North Carolina is 19-4. Miami's 18-5, and they're both 7-3 in the ACC. So, I'm just gonna say this: North Carolina. See, I actually have Carolina Blue, not on purpose, but coming off a huge win, right, at home. Sometimes there's a letdown on the road. What do you think? So because of that, I'm going to go Miami to cover, which is crazy because it means they're probably going to – I mean, if you're going to cover 1.5 points, you're probably going to win. But I'm going to take Miami at home, a little bit of home cooking. Wow, you're starting to see – now I'm even starting to see a pattern here of what I saw. Wisconsin travels to Illinois. Wisconsin's been tough. Illinois with that tough loss on the road. I think Illinois rights the ship here. Illinois 20-4. They're actually really good. 11-2 in the Big Ten. Wisconsin 16-7, 8-4 in conference play. Wisconsin's tough, but I think I watched Illinois play, and I'm gonna have to. I think Tennessee doesn't play till the weekend. I like those two teams for some reason. It's not because they're both orange, but I really like those teams, and because of that, I got Illinois covering that 11.5 points at home. I think they come out pretty pissed that they lost, and they're going to take care of business. And then the last one, U of H. So U of H just played BYU. So apparently they're like, hey, we're in Utah. Why don't we make our rounds here? U of H says they're going to go to Utah, go play the Utes of Utah. U of H is 21-2, 9-1 in the Big 12, where Utah, measly 9-14, 1-9 in Big 12 play, which leaves it wide open. U of H had a tough time against BYU, where BYU actually had them. I think they took the lead for a little bit there. U of H pulls away. I think they really get upset about that one. Take care of business here, and they will cover the 16.5 points. Now, I told you, what if you could place one bet that would make you 24 times? You bet $100, win $2,400. Well, here's the bet. It's called a parlay. And so if you go in tonight before tip-off of Arizona, Kansas, you pick Kansas to cover, Nebraska to cover, in an upset, Miami. You can pick them to money line, but I pick them to cover. Illinois, and then Houston to cover, and you put $100 on that, you will make $2,400. Now, I am not that bold, even though I did have a great Super Bowl. That was pretty good. But I'm not opposed to putting $10 down and winning $240. So, yeah, if you get the chance, do that. But yeah, those are the picks for tonight and for Tuesday. So if you get a chance, give that a shot. If you're watching, please like and subscribe. I totally appreciate it. Truly do. Just love talking sports. I think this is like therapy for me because when I make some of these bets and I lose, I'm like, that hurt really bad. So go in here and just tell everybody my sad stories and hope everybody feels sorry for me. Don't send me money yet, but there'll be a link at some point that you can send me money because you feel that bad. But anyway, go make those bets if you can. Enjoy these games because there's going to be some really good ones. And I hope you guys do great. We'll see you guys next time. Hook 'em.